I logged on to work because I love to punish myself. And
We just spoke about this, but I'm your friend. I'm being kind and loving. You deserve more, babes.
I definitely do. But I just was like internalizing all of this emotion and just thinking, am I blowing this out of proportion in terms of my reactions? And not realizing someone who's been looped into all of the chats that have been pinging sent me a message. And we were talking about this as well, just sent me a message like separately
On the side.
being like, what? I know, like, didn't even say, it just was, this is nuts. It's driving me insane. I'm like, I'm so glad I'm not the only person who's literally thinking, am I the only
Is it
one
me?
who, I'm not.
That's why.
So validation.
And I know we're not supposed to crave it or really want it too much, but it's wired into us. Validation is safety. Sometimes we need to know you are not nuts. It is them.
You just need one extra person to say, show up and just be like, is it just me? I'm like, no, it ain't. And it ain't just me either. So we're here together. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Just
glad you got that.
Anyway. Not the time, not the place. Yes. So let's start the show. Hey, everybody who has decided to press play. Thank you so much for joining us in our absolute madness. It's fun here. We hope you think so too. It's myself, Amy G, and I'm hosting the show with the wonderful, actually, there are no words to describe how fantastic this person is, Monique B. Guys, whether you're joining us morning, lunchtime, evening, nighttime, we thank you for joining us. We hope that you're going to enjoy the following episode. Before I start anything, I'm going to ask you to do all of the things that are necessary for you coming back here and enjoying all of this wonderfulness. It's hitting that subscribe button. It's hitting the notification bell so you know when these episodes are live and happening. Well, they're not going to be live. They're recorded, but it's ready to go for you to listen.
Live for you.
So do that now. Follow us on all of the socials. Get involved. We love hearing from you. And the more we hear from you, the more fun we have ourselves. So thank you.
We just spoke about validation. Come on, give a little.
Yeah, give a little to get a lot. Right? So if it's your first time here, just to give you a bit of context, we always start every episode with a bit of a warm-up icebreaker, and Monique and I take it in turns. So this time it is me. However, there is a twist.
Girl, I love a twist, but I love giving the twist. Being on the receiving end of said twist, I don't know.
The twist is that this is a moment. I'm calling this game Seize the Moment. Okay?
Okay, where are we going? Intrigue level is on 10.
So, Mo, you are going to give me a number between 1 and 40, and I'm going to ask you a question.
Oh God. I feel okay. The number is 35.
The number is 35. What is your most used emoji?
Oh. Okay.
So you have to describe it.
I think, let me just have a look. Okay, I use the rolling on the floor laughing one a lot. So the laughing one, that's kind of linked to the side. I also use the one a lot as well. Because as
one or
we
the
know,
other, you're either laughing loads
or I'm not. All or nothing, baby, is either hilarious or it is the worst.
Okay, give me another number.
15.
15. Have you ever sexted?
I mean, yeah. Can I
But
just
was it
leave it
like,
there?
yeah.
Hi, mom.
However,
I'll leave the timestamp to where you can forward to.
was it was it like a random just one off, or was it a full blown conversation?
I'm sure both of them have been. I'm sure I've done both of them.
Okay,
But
we
the
can
best
leave.
ones are the ones that come out of nowhere. Hot tip for you. Those random ones, someone's just trying to have their lunch and then they open the phone to a message that you've sent and just like, oh, gotta go home. Send those.
Hot tip. Okay.
Oh, 10.
Ooh, your favorite nickname to be called?
Oh, I have many, but what's my favorite? I think probably my original, like my first nickname, which is Mons.
Mm.
MONZ. Yeah. My sister still calls me that. I think my sister might be the only one that calls me Mons still. Yeah. I think that's my favorite.
Ah.
Aw. Hey, Ona. Love
Oh,
you, babes.
oh, bless. Okay, another number. Go for it.
25.
I had literally hovered over that. That is
Really?
creepy. Yeah. What is your favorite quote?
um, well, it's definitely not live, laugh, love, because cringe. Um, my favorite quote. Damn, that's hard. I
There's not one
can't
that kind of
think of
comes to mind.
the only one that comes to mind. It's not even from anyone famous, really. I think it's one that I use a lot, which is just simply fuck it. I think it just has so much energy and it always pushes you forward. Fuck it. Just do
Mm,
the thing or just don't do the thing. The acceptance in the word fuck it is freedom.
yeah, it's
Love it.
liberating.
Isn't
It's
it?
so liberating. It's
Yes.
like it's a mood. It's just a mood in itself.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck it. Okay, love it. Love it for both of us. Next number
Okay, let's do 39.
39. What is your current WhatsApp status?
Oh, my favorite one so far, actually. It is these are shit. I can't remember it. Hold on. It is, I feel like this is like my life motto. Okay. It is these are the good old days.
Ah.
Yeah. So just a reminder to be present because the best times are happening now. Because we will look back. I was going to say like 10, 15 years, but we could look back last month and be like, that was a good old time.
Mm.
And nothing makes you realize it more than when you look at old pictures. I'm telling you, you'll look back and be like, oh, wow, I looked great. I didn't think I did, but I did. Remember when that thing happened? It was amazing. Remember that meal? Mm-mm, tasted so good. These are the good old days.
Oh, there's so many like just memories captured sometimes in an old photo, and you know
Yeah.
exactly the conversation you were having at that time,
Mm-hmm.
like who was around you and so on. Oh
Yeah.
gosh,
It's happening now,
nostalgia.
folks.
Yeah, enjoy it. Another number, go for it.
Let's go for 9.
9. Have you ever had a near death experience, and can you explain it to us a little bit?
Yes. I was actually mentioning this to you a little while ago. So let me see how quickly I can tell this story. So basically, I started orthodontic treatment when I was like 12, 11 or 12, possibly 13. Who knows? Those early secondary school years, right? And I basically had to have 4 teeth removed. Overcrowding, it's a thing. So it was going to happen in 2 sessions. They were going to remove 2 from the top first session, 2 from the bottom second time around. when the first set had to be removed, I was given the anesthesia by the anaesthetist. No problems. It was injected into my arm. If you've ever had it before, your arm kind of goes cold as the um, medicine or whatever is going through your veins. Freaks me out, but going through the process, fine. As the medication started taking effect, I lost the ability to be able to breathe. I was still very much awake, but I could not breathe. I couldn't take a deep breath. So it's like I was awake and suffocating. And the doctors are in the room just doing what they're supposed to do. I think my mum might have still been there, just like, looking on or whatever. But I absolutely nearly died that day. And that's kind of what gave me the ick and fear about going to the dentist for years and years and years and years.
Mm.
Ironically, I will actually be restarting that in a couple of months because this fence is my biggest insecurity. And we're about to be 40. We're taking care of the things. So, yeah, but I don't think I'm going to do anesthesia. I'm prepared to have these bad boys pulled with just like injecting
Local. Yeah.
local. Yeah, because I can't be put to sleep again because my brain will shut down. So no, I won't be able to do it. But that was the
Yeah.
most scariest thing ever. Um, yeah. I mean, when I went abseiling, I kind of lost my footing and slipped a little bit. Definitely thought I was gonna die then, but I recovered from that pretty quickly. That whole dentist situation though, yeah. Dying
Yeah,
whilst
but when
alive. Terrifying.
exactly when you're like, I can't breathe, that's much like bigger than I've lost my footing. Because bearing in mind, you're probably wearing harnesses and all sorts,
Yeah.
and there's people around you. When you're lying there and you're like fully awake,
Mm-hmm.
looking around at people, and you're just like, I'm not
Yeah.
taking in any air.
It's like sleep paralysis, but like times 100. Because sleep paralysis, I mean, that is pretty scary, right? You're just
That is
laying there,
freaky.
isn't it? Trying to move, screaming inside, and nothing is happening. And then your body catches up later. Yeah, it was like that, but in reverse.
Oh my God.
Yeah, not. Mm-mm. Thanks for
Did
bringing
I
that
tell
up.
you
No,
about,
not really.
sorry, did I tell you about the time when I don't know if I was awake or if I was dreaming, but I couldn't move my body and I felt like someone touched me and I was the only person at home. I felt like someone was grabbed hold of my arm, but I was the only person home.
Okay, what kind of grab was this? Was it like you're okay grab or I'm gonna get you grab? Like, how did that? Do you remember the
Um
energy of it?
no, it was just like someone was just holding my arm and then let go.
Shit.
And I was just like, I remember feeling scared because I was just like, I know I'm the only
Yeah.
person here. So that's
Yeah.
freaky. But
Mm-hmm.
also I was like, I can't move. So if anything was to happen, like I'm not going nowhere.
It's a wrap.
So
Oh,
so yeah, yeah. Just you talking about sleep paralysis made me anyway,
yeah.
it's not about me, it's your moment. So another number, please.
Let's do 11.
11. So what is one of your insecurities?
Oh, well, I just spoke about it. These teeth, I'm telling you. Um, and as casually as I'm talking about it now, understand that it's a huge deal. Like my, I think weight is pretty much like a standard insecurity for a lot of women, and I'm doing better with it. But these teeth, I'm telling you, it's, I do believe it's why I talk as quickly as I do and why it sounds like I'm mumbling sometimes because I went to great lengths to try and disguise that, especially my bottom row, to disguise that they were so out of line.
Mm,
Um, it, yeah, I mean, it really shaped how I kind of moved. I didn't speak a lot. Would just like listen and chime in every now and then. Didn't smile properly. In all of the pictures, you will never see a teeth smile ever. Spread lips, always, because ick.
Red lips.
But but as I said, I've kind of gotten over the dentist fear now, and yeah, man, I just feel like I want to smile with my whole mouth, which is funny because in preparing to like start my orthodontic treatment, I realized that I don't feel like I know how to smile. It's weird. So I've been
Ah,
practicing smiling with teeth. It looks weird AF, but I'm gonna get it, and you're gonna be sick of me. That's all I'm gonna say.
never, never. Another number. We'll go for 3 more.
Okay, so let's do 27.
What inspires you? Could just be one
Oh,
thing.
okay. Um, I think other people's artistry, like whatever it is, photography, videography. I love seeing how other people see things,
Mm,
and it makes me want to create myself. That's my yeah, biggest inspiration, other people's expression.
love. Another number.
Um, let's go for 32.
Ha! What is your star sign?
Aries. First of the pack, baby.
Yeah. Although you have
Leading.
a bit of leftover from Pisces as well, don't you?
Definitely have some residual Pisces energy for sure. Up in the clouds, very delulu, but it works to our advantage.
Absolutely. And finally, one more number.
We're going to have to do 40.
40 is if you could give your 20 self something self some quick advice, what would it
Right.
be?
Ah, fuck it. Don't worry because nobody else is. It's only you. Just do the things, say the things. You're worthy of it all.
She thanks
Yay.
you. She thanks you. And that brings us to the end of our Seize
I
the
loved
Moment.
that. I loved that. That was so good.
Yay. I
Thanks,
was,
Blue.
you're very welcome. I was reflecting on the fact that we've spoken loads about how, I mean, we've obviously done a couple of warm ups where we are, I suppose, reflecting on what we know about each other. And you have said many a time that you do not give out information. So I was just encouraging a
I
little
love
bit of
that.
that.
Save the rest of those questions for later because I think obviously we have our B days coming up, and I think that would be like quite a great thing to do then. So
Yeah.
don't get rid of that list.
I can't believe it. It's not long now, like literally a
No.
couple of months.
Yeah,
Big
I
one for
mean,
you, girl.
I'm kind of ready. I'm kind of ready. I mean, I know it's happening whether I like it or not, but
Yeah.
I'm choosing to accept it. So that that's the difference. That's
You
the twist.
should celebrate the fact that you are looking as good as you do, being the best mum that you are, and a fantastic friend to all. I can't speak on the sister, but
Aw.
I'm assuming that you're a smashing sister too. So, sisters, chime in for this one.
I think they like me.
That's good. That's always useful.
That's helpful. Oh, my
Yeah,
babies, my
celebrate
first
yourself.
babies.
It's your year of
I
celebration.
know. Love it.
Ah, I know.
As someone that's coming towards the end then of the
Mm.
first year of the 4 O's, tell me something.
It's not as big a deal as people make it out to be. Like nothing changes really at all. I think the biggest thing that I have become aware of is, and I've spoken about this before, how I'm more aware of the less fucks I give.
Mm,
So I'm just like, is that really something I want to do? Nah, I'm not going to do it. So there's much more, I'm leaning into that side a lot more, or have noticed I've done that in the last
yeah.
nearly year. Um, and and then obviously this is probably the negative of it
Okay.
is I have shifted my focus now on, this is going to sound wild, preventative measures of
Okay.
aging, and not in the sense of like all of the creams, because I never have been one to follow a beauty regime. It's like splash and done. If I'm lucky, I put on some moisturizer. I'm not if I'm lucky, I do put moisturizer, but just not proper moisturizer for my face. It's whatever I can grab.
Okay.
So I've never been one to follow that, but it's more about looking at the supplements and the vitamins and doing the workouts that are going to strengthen my body. It's not, it's working out is no longer about let me get these abs, because I've been saying that for the past 2 decades and I have never once gotten close.
Oh my gosh. Have you ever had
Um
abs? Ever? I had them
well,
for about a
yeah,
year.
I I have.
I had
I've got
5.
abs. Oh, that
Yeah, I
is
know.
nice. Yes. Anyway, I can't remember what I was even saying. That's another thing.
Listen, I've been forgetting, okay? You see it happen often. Every week I'm talking to you and it's just like my brain just like leaves. It's just like, I need a nap. You know, I'm always talking about a nap. My body does it before it's ready sometimes. So yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, just I can be mid sentence and then be like, where was I going with that?
Honestly.
Can't
Isn't that the
remember.
worst? And like but you really can't remember. That's what's freaky. It's like it never
No.
happened.
Yeah.
Oh, dear. But what a blessing. Anyway, what a blessing.
Yeah.
Every day we wake up is another chance to do the things.
And I suppose also it's just reflecting on, like you're doing your year of yes, it's looking at making the most of every opportunity. Just do the things.
Yeah.
Just do them whilst you can. Like, and I don't
Mm-hmm.
mean that in a bad way. Just like you've got the means of like potentially financially, you've got the friends available, all of those things. Do them, do them, do them, rather than getting to our deathbeds and being like, I shoulda, woulda, coulda.
Yeah.
It's
Because
going
that's
to
the
be like,
common one.
yo, kids, bring it in, bring it in. Let me tell you about the time.
Honestly, that is the goal, to have stories to tell. For them to be like,
Yeah.
oh, she lived a life. Like, no one wants to get to the gates all shiny and new. You want to be like broke down, beat up, hair a mess because you had a time.
Yeah, you want to be stuck together with sellotape and, super glue. It's all
And a wish.
kinds.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Oh, I love it. That was great.
Oh, do you know, I was watching, so I'm following so many more people on Instagram now who like deliver content and stuff. But there's part of me that it feels icky when I'm watching a conversation that feels like it should happen naturally, but it's being recorded. Does that make sense? So it's like it's been set up as if I'm having a little peeky
Oh,
peek.
yeah.
And I'm
Yeah.
just like, that's so staged.
Yeah.
That isn't that weird for people? Like, obviously, it's not weird for people because it's content and everything is content. But still, I'm just like, did you, before you started having this conversation, did you discuss, right? Actually, let's have this conversation and record it. Or is it just that you were just recording and this was a snippet that was part of it? I don't know.
Yeah, I totally get what you mean. I mean, I literally watched one last night and it was a conversation between a husband and wife, actually. And basically, like, the husband was just, did I send it to you?
No, but was it about coming out of someone's comfort zone?
Kind of.
Okay. Because I
Anyway, he
think,
was just basically like pouring into her, just telling her, you've done this before. Like, this is you like stretching into a new area of self, basically. But you've done it time and time again. And yes, it feels uncomfortable, but you'll do it because that's what you'll do. That's what you
mm,
do. And it was a really nice like thing to see, honestly. But then every now and then I kind of was just like, this is a behind closed doors conversation. You know, it just felt like I was like peeping
Intruding.
tomming. Yeah. But at the same time, they've purposely, recorded and put it out because it is helpful. It is helpful to see those things.
Yeah.
So it was like a constant swing between this is so great, I love to see it, and oh, should I even be here?
Yeah. I suppose they're putting it out there. So, in a way, it's like they're opening the door. It's not like you're
Yeah,
peeping Tom. They're literally like, come
totally.
on in, come
Yeah,
in, enjoy.
absolutely.
I just feel like sometimes I get that it's useful, but it feels really staged as it's staged as though it's organic, but I know it's not. And that makes me
Yeah.
feel, "Ugh, I don't like
Some of
this."
them really are, and it's just like, okay, I can't watch this because yuck,
Yeah.
stop it.
Yeah. Anyway, I was just reflecting on that because obviously I'm spending much more time just reviewing and whatnot. And I find the content really, really useful and interesting, but just sometimes the delivery gives me such the ick that it takes away
Yeah, takes
from,
you out of it.
yeah, the benefit of it.
Yeah.
Anyway, whilst we're on such a deep topic, let's move on over to the dive board for our very own deep dive. Let's put those hands together. And in three, two, one, dive.
Boop.
Hey! Um, so this week's deep dive, I've got it up on my screen. Are you reluctant to open? Oh, are you reluctant or open to bringing together people from different parts of your life? Give an explanation for your answer. Do you want to go first or should I?
I can go first because honestly, I don't know that I'm going to have a lot to say. Quite honestly, the short answer to this is I am open to it. Um, I, I, all of my friends and my family members that I'm close to, who there would be an opportunity for both worlds to meet anyway, are kind of the same vibe as me. I don't know if this is making any sense. Sorry, I'm kind of thinking as I'm speaking. Maybe I should have prepped a bit more. But basically, I have a very short social battery.
Hmm.
Like, I don't like drama. I don't like to have to babysit people. I don't like to have to like gear myself up to be in people's company. I just like to just show up and be. I like to say things how they are. I don't want to have to think about how I'm going to phrase or structure something or if I've got to like filter things. It's so much work and I don't want to do it. Okay, ease is my favorite word. I just want to show up. So because of that, a lot of my friends and a lot of my family members I find have that same sort of chill vibe where it is just easy to be that way, you know?
Mm.
Yeah. And because of that, I think that all the people in my life could absolutely just hang out and just chill because everyone's got that same sort of easygoing vibe, you know? My family aren't kind of like loud and rah rah. That's no shade. It's just we are extremely chill. Like a bit of loudness and rah rah is great and sometimes actually very useful. Sometimes I feel like actually I could stand to be a bit more loud and rah rah, but it's just not who I am. Do you know what I mean?
Mm.
Um, so yeah, I've got no problem with my worlds colliding. Actually, I don't have the oh, I'm just too lazy to maintain different types of friendships. Like I don't want to do it. Just
Yeah.
too much work. And
Yeah.
I feel like it's kind of inauthentic as well. I mean, obviously, the types of conversations that I might have with my uncle compared to the types of conversations I would have with like my close friends are going to be different. You know, like he's a family member, so I probably won't swear as much, if at all. But it'll be slight changes like that. It wouldn't be a
Mm.
whole personality change at all because
Hmm.
that's it's long. So yeah, that's it, man. Let's all meet up and hang. It'll be a good vibe. As I said, I'm just too lazy to try and have different types of friendships and different levels and different energies. So much work. Nah. So yeah.
I think I've I think I've definitely got slightly different friendship groups. Like I definitely have a pool of much more uh, um introverted
Mhm.
friends who I suppose the loudness and rah-rah wouldn't fly as much.
Mhm.
But that but I say that, and when we're like one-on-one, we probably are loud and rah-rah together,
Yeah.
but in a larger group, not so much.
Mhm.
And then there are less and less so now, I think, um, more extroverted friends who are like all about the party and
Yeah.
all of all about the kind of like energy. I think over time, I have, this is going to sound awful, but I don't mean it in this way, probably become more aware of the fact that I have been performing for many years. And so where I've started to slowly stop doing that, some of those friends have kind of dropped off.
Okay.
Um, and so my friendship group now, although a lot of them are like here, there, and everywhere,
Mhm.
are probably much more of a same vibe.
Yeah.
So I'm much more open to having everyone come together. I mean, I say that, and then how long ago was it when we went to that R&B brunch, and it was like a
Oh,
group birthday show up, and we just had friends come about.
yeah. Our worlds properly
Do you remember the
collided.
time?
Yeah. That I remember
Yeah.
looking like a wreck after. Oh, yeah, we've got pictures of that as well, where you were a very good friend to me. We can talk about that later. But yeah, that was like family, that was like work colleagues, it was a mix of everybody and everyone
Yeah.
got on and was just like
Yeah.
it's like we all knew each other. But we
Yeah.
just I think we just recognized the energy and the vibe within one another. And that's why it was just a harmonious, good ass time.
It was such
Yeah.
a time. But it was a small enough group. Like I know we were quite a large group, but it was a small enough group for everyone to still mill around. And that's the thing for me. Like I, very similar to you, I don't want to have to cater to everyone's needs. And it's probably why I don't encourage having those group get togethers. I just want to show
Mm.
up and have a good time. I
Yeah.
don't want to be making sure you're okay.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that's something I've noticed about myself when I'm invited to things. I have to ask myself the question, am I going to be okay with just being on my own? Like
Okay.
not having my person who's invited me to this event
Yeah.
be there with me all the time? Do I have the social capacity
Hmm.
to mingle? And if the answer is no,
Yeah.
then I need to politely decline your
Yeah.
invitation. And it's
It's
nothing
work.
about you.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah, of
nothing
course.
about you. It's
Yeah.
definitely just, I don't want to be that person where I'm just like, oh, can you spend some time with me, please? Because you're the only person that I know here. And I know
Yeah.
it's your party and you should be having the fun, but also I'm very lonely over here. I don't want to be that person.
Yeah, me neither. Because I'm not the person that can just, I mean, I somehow I end up speaking to everybody, but I am not the person that can go and approach someone and be like, so, hey, how are you? Because we will be talking about the weather. I'm just
Yeah.
not a small talk kind of person, you know? Um, so yeah, you're right. As you said, if you get invited somewhere, do you have the capacity to, you know, don't want to say perform because it's not performing, but be prepared to like mingle and put your best foot forward and all of that stuff
Yeah.
because
Have
it's
yourself a
work.
good time. Yeah, exactly. I think
Yeah,
that's it is can you show up and enjoy yourself without having to do all of that performative stuff?
yeah.
Um and you have to be completely because I went through a phase and I had a friend who was like super high energy. Now, don't get me wrong, when we went out, we had a
Hmm.
great time.
Yeah.
A great time. However, caveat is she was my ultimate enabler to things that I probably shouldn't have been doing.
Mm.
So it was like the little on the shoulder going, do
Yeah.
it, do it. You know you wanna do it. And this one's saying, don't do it, don't do it. And I'm like, shh,
Yeah,
do
absolutely.
it. So as much as I had a time, afterwards I was reflecting, like, oh, I enjoyed myself, but was I really being me? And
Yeah.
I most of the time the answer was no. And I was physically, emotionally drained after
Mm.
those occasions because I was putting myself in situations that, yes, I had fun in, but actually I didn't 100% really want to be doing it. I went for the ride and
Yeah.
allowed myself to just go for the ride. And I think the more I started reflecting on that and being like, actually, I am not here for me, I'm here for you.
Yeah.
The more I started being there for me, the less and less I went out with this person because I
Mm.
just realized that I wasn't going there to have a good time for myself. I was going there to have a good time for this person and ultimately
Yeah.
not having a good time. So,
Yeah.
you know,
I mean,
and
feeling emotionally and physically depleted afterwards, I mean, that's the clue because you want to, the goal is to kind of leave your friendship gathering or your friendship group feeling like replenished and
mm,
rejuvenated. You know what I mean? You don't want to feel like you've been on a bender or you don't want that jet lag feeling from hanging out. You know, you want to feel like, right, I'm ready to go now. What's life saying today?
yeah.
That's the clue. How you feel afterwards, definitely the clue.
Yeah, definitely. And again, it was not this person's fault at all. It was just a personal, it was definitely a light bulb moment for me because I was just like,
Yeah.
wow, like this,
Yeah.
if this is not an obvious example of me people pleasing, then I don't know how
What is?
how else I can show myself. Like it's
Yeah.
crazy. And also, and I had a very, very honest conversation with them and was just like, I can't show up as your friend the way you need me to be
Mm,
because I am not that person. I've been showing up as that person, but that's
yeah.
not me and
Yeah.
I have to be honest with myself. So if you want to have a quiet dinner and a long deep meaningful conversation, I'm here. But
Yeah.
if you want to be out being like ratchet and all of that stuff, I'll be there for an hour and then I'm out because
Yeah.
that's all I've got. And then, so make sure you've got other friends to show up for that because,
Mm. Yeah. I can imagine it must take a while as well to come to that realization because you are having fun to a degree, you know?
yeah,
And it's just like, it's fun, but I feel terrible after. Like, what is that? You
yeah,
know? Have I just been out too much? Was it too much fun? No, it's just misaligned with who you are. But I guess
mm,
it's giving, yeah, giving yourself that space to reflect on it and really, really think about, as you said, how you're showing up and why as well.
yeah. So in a roundabout way, I'm open. I have been
In
reluctant in the
the past.
past.
Mm.
Um, but now I'm like, I'd love for all of my friendship group. And also that makes it easier on me because you're all there and I'm not having to make separate like events to
Exactly.
see
let's
you.
let's get all in the same room
Yeah.
and
The
just chill. Yeah.
the downside to that is how stressful would it be to try and organize everybody to be there at the same time, unless you literally did a save the date in
I was
2025 or
I was gonna
something.
say, just set the date. This is the date, this is the time, be there, or I'll see you on the next one.
Yeah. Yeah.
Calendars are gonna calendar and lives are busy. That would be
Food,
fun though.
drinks, music, somewhere outside, because, I love me a bit of nature, just like a picnic
Yeah.
somewhere in a massive park and games, but you
I
can't
was
guarantee
thinking
weather.
no, you can't. I was thinking about that last year, like how fun it would be to do like an old school like park hangout. Like just bring your food, your Bluetooth speaker, and you're just there for the whole day. Like, do you remember
Yeah.
them ones? Oh my God. Such wholesome fun.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
Mm. Let's see what this summer brings, if we have one.
Well, year of yes,
Okay.
40th celebration year.
And I said I'm celebrating all year, so there we go. Let's add that to the calendar.
Add it. Let's
Early
do it.
August.
Yeah, why
Okay.
not? Get all the
Hmm.
peeps together.
Yeah, I'm digging it. Digging it? Who says that? When have I ever said that? What? Oh God.
Digging it. Don't shame her. Don't shame her. We know what she meant.
Digging it. I just
She's having
can't.
a time. I thought it was
Oh,
quite an interesting reflection, though. Just it definitely takes you back to why we choose our friends. Another thing, a video I saw randomly, and it was just Simon again, Simon Sinek, and it was
oh
actually
yeah, yeah.
he was saying, don't do it like your friend, your family, do it with your best friend, and just ask them, why are we friends, and reflect on how we choose. And his point was that
Hmm.
most of the time, your best friends can't tell you the specific things as to why they're friends with you. It's just like this unknown gravitational pull that
Yeah.
keeps you together, and we can't pinpoint our fingers, but it's a very useful reflection exercise
Hmm.
on why we're friends with the people that we're friends with.
Oh, do you know what? That just reminded me of something. I can actually pinpoint an occasion when we started hanging out where I was just like, this girl.
Really.
Yeah. So we went to the cinema with Kay to see the Sex and the City movie, Sex and the City 2. I don't know if you could remember this. It's a very small moment.
Mm,
But towards the end of the film, where Big is giving Carrie like a wedding ring as like punishment. Do you remember that? He gave her a ring as punishment for like her
discretion.
indiscretion. Yeah, with my fave. Uh, and I think at the beginning of the film, she was like worried because they decided they weren't going to have children, and it dawned on her that it was just going to be the two of them. And I think she was worried that just the two of them wouldn't be enough. So
Mm,
as he's like putting this ring on her finger, she's just like, but it's just going to be the two of us. Like, are we enough? And Big was just like, baby, we're too much. And both of us at the exact same time were like, ha! Exact, it's like a chorus. And then Kay like looked to both of us and was just like, fools. And I was just like, this is my buddy. This is my buddy. It
I
was just the
do.
synchronicity of it. I was just like, yeah, this one.
Oh my God. I think that there's lots of occasions where I just thought that we were on the same vibe. And a lot of them are centered around laughs, like just the foolishness that we start kicking up.
Utter
And it
foolishness.
always makes me laugh though, because obviously she did it recently where she was missing, Kay was missing for part of the conversation. And when she came back, she was like, you guys need help. And that is a bog standard response.
On the default line. What's wrong with you two? It's been well established that there is no help though. Like, this is it, babes.
The descent into crazy. Madness descends.
Yeah.
Too much fun. such a diversion, and I probably instigated
Sorry.
it as always.
That one was me. That one was me. That one was me. But that is a good question. And I think it is interesting. It is hard to pinpoint like why you're someone's friend. It's just more of that need and want to be around them. It's the feeling.
Yeah.
You know, it's the
And
energy.
and like
it's
you
always
said,
the
it's
energy.
the replenishing of how you're feeling. I always feel like I get a massive boost after even the smallest amount of time, just like a resurge, and I'm like, ooh, she's up, she's running 100%, we're good to go.
Yeah.
And it's like,
Mario and the mushroom.
Dial that down.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Well, let's wrap up that deep dive.
We should. Oh, brilliant.
So this came up for me actually a while ago, but I forgot about it. And it's a viral post. Obviously, this is right for the media circus. That is.
Yes, that's where we are.
We're here right
early,
now,
folks. Sorry. Come joining. Quick.
I love getting there early so I can get the best seats of the house. I hate coming in last minute. Never, ever, ever, ever put me through that kind of situation. It just gets me stressed.
Yeah, anxiety, yeah.
I have to be there. Late. I don't want to be
Ironically, I don't like being late. As much times as we've gone out and just like, where is this girl? Now I'm like super like anxious about it. Oh, it's terrible.
I'm sorry if I brought on that anxiety.
No. And you know what? It wasn't until after I brought that up for the first time that I realized how that could have sounded. Because it wasn't like, obviously, I'm not ever going to slight you, but it wasn't like, oh, Amy went off at all. It was my realization about my terrible, like, lacks of awareness of how my actions were affecting others. Like, honestly, when I think about that whole situation, I'm just like, oh, cringe. Wow. You really weren't thinking about anyone's time at all. This is me talking to me. I wasn't thinking about anyone's time at all. Like, pretty embarrassing, actually. And I just think that whole time you'd have been like on your schedule, knowing you how I know you, getting ready to go, making sure that you've left on time, that your connecting trains are like running. And I'm just like, do I even really want to go? Oh, I don't know. What am I going to wear? I'm just like, raw, out of order. So yeah, thank you for forgiving me and sticking around.
Oh gosh, I think that is just a pet peeve for me because I know a lot of my friendship group tend to be on the late side. And I'm just like, that is how, first of all, how are you late when you know what time you need to be there? Work backwards. Like, that's common sense.
Yeah, it's bad.
But
it is.
yeah, I got gone.
One thing that made me like just switch my whole perspective, I heard something that basically said, you know, turning up late when you're meant to be meeting people, especially if it's out on road, like outside of a cinema or like out on road, you're basically telling them that you do not respect their time. And I was just like, raw. That is out of order because I didn't like to wait either. You know, I don't like to be waiting on people. I kind of just want to show up and let's go do the thing already, you know? And I think that's where my thinking was coming from before. Like, I don't like hanging around. I just want to get there and go in to wherever we're going or whatever. But then at the same time, it's just like, well, other people don't want to be waiting around either. So, you know, bring a book, listen to me, like, show up on time and do the thing. But yeah, that whole thing about respecting other people's time, that one hit home and I was just like, okay, you're right. Especially if we're meeting out, you've got to do better. If you're like coming to the house for a hang, show up when you show up. You know what I mean? I'm already here. It's cool. I'll open the door. No problems. But if we're out somewhere, bitch, be early.
Obviously, the lateness is not anything to do with like travel. Like, you can't help when there's delays on lines and
Mm-hmm.
stuff. Fair dues. I'm never going to pull up anyone where it's like, I'm on a train. I'm on my way. It's just sitting here for
Yeah.
time.
That's it. Yeah.
You can't do anything about that. It's just like when you know you've got to be somewhere for 2, and if you are leaving your house at 1:45 and you know it's an hour journey, I will not be there when you
Yeah.
arrive. So don't even bother leaving. Like, just don't
Yeah.
bother leaving, because I ain't going to be
Yeah.
there. Anyway, media circus. We're on to the media circus. So this apparently went viral, right? And I can see why it went viral, but I'm intrigued to hear your, I suppose, input on this. So this woman went viral on her views on marriage.
Okay.
And it's a post that she put up. So first off, she's a physician assistant whose average salary is like 100K
Right.
dollars. We're talking dollars here. But this is her post. So I can't wait to get married and give my husband control over our finances. I don't ever want to see a bill. Just let me know how much I can spend every month. Thoughts. Now,
Ugh.
I didn't go into the comments because, I would be there for hours. But what are your thoughts on that? Like, just forget the fact that she's got a fat salary already, handing over complete control of your finances to your other half.
I mean, so what? He has to use her money to pay for it, or because that's like, what is she actually saying? He's going to take control of her money and spend it accordingly, or that he would just be responsible for paying the bills out of his salary? Because the answers
Mm.
will be very different without that clarification. Because if she's talking about handing over control of her money, that's an absolute hell to the no. I can't. No. Let me see. No, my system will not let me believe that that's what she's talking about. She can't be. Where it's a case of,
And
he
pooling the
comes
money
in.
together.
I mean, yeah, that even is fine. But if she's just like, he takes care of all the bills, yeah, fine, sure. You know.
And let me
But
spend
hold
my
on.
money.
But she
You
was talking
spend.
about having an allowance though, wasn't she?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know if it's a case of the fact that she's getting an allowance or whatever, or if when she's like saying, just let me know how much I can spend every month, she's saying, you figure out how much we're having to pay on these bills and let me know. I will contribute that. And then the rest is for me to play
Yeah.
with. Or if she's like, you're handling it all and I'm not contributing shit. In which case, that's a really selfish way to approach your marriage. If you're saying the man has to earn enough for him to have play money and also take care of all of the bills, and your salary is
Yeah.
just your salary, your money, like,
But that's been the social upbringing though for like eons. And a lot of women still hold tightly onto that. Because like we were saying, episode before last, I think, back in the day, women didn't have their own bank accounts and stuff. Like, so really the man had to take care of everything because the woman wasn't able to.
yes,
Um, so obviously times are different now where, women are making just as much as men, in a lot of cases out earning men, but still have that old mentality, which it depends on the relationship. If it works for for the two people in
for
it,
both of
then
them.
fine. There are some men that don't want their women to contribute to anything. For them, they see it as their job, their responsibility to take care of everything and are happy to do so. So I just hope that, those people find each other. But I don't know. It's a conversation to have at the beginning. I don't, oh, I'm trying to think. Do I want to be told how much? I mean, I don't mind being, told how much I can spend as long as it's kind of like a serving suggestion. Like if we have financial goals and they're like, hey, Mo, to reach this goal, you're going to need to keep your spending to about X amount. Okay, cool. I will try very hard to do so. Serving suggestion. But if I don't, oops,
Yeah.
I don't, want there to be some, I'm taking away your cards and all of that bollocks because now we have a problem. I'm a grown up,
Yeah.
Um, so it just, there's more clarification, I think, is needed for me to give a proper answer. But as I said, if the man is okay paying for everything, sorry, then I'm okay to let him do that. Am I though? See, I say that. Mm, I took a big game.
I know. It's a
I
tough
took a
one.
big game because
I,
the thought of not contributing to my own life is just like it gives me a shiver down my spine, you know. But I left home at 19. So I've been out here paying these bills for a very long time by myself. I don't know that I know how to let someone else come in and
mm,
be, forget it, I'll cover it all. I'd be very uneasy about that. It feels like so much control being handed over. And it could be an Aries thing as well. Like we need the control because to not have any feels like clipped wings. And we need to fly
yes.
at any given moment. We need to fly.
Preach, Auntie. You're just like, we need to fly.
Literally, it's scary. But then I guess that would only be a worry if you didn't have your own money, I couldn't be in that situation where I'm completely reliant on my partner to like cover all my bills and for
Mm.
me to essentially have like spending money or like a real life allowance. I don't think I'd ever be able to do that.
Well,
You know,
yeah,
I don't know
I
if I
think that's a
would.
personal preference, isn't it? Because it's a case of if that is your goal in life, where you're not having to work and you're not, and therefore your other half takes care of
Yeah.
everything, fair dues. I feel like I don't
And I want
feel
to
as
say
though I
though,
can
sorry, I
relinquish
don't.
that.
Yeah, I want to say though, there's nothing wrong with that. If you're
Mm-mm.
cool with that, that is fine. I just know me personally and my history and my experience. Maybe I've got it all twisted. Maybe that should be the goal. But I just know that me right here, right now, today, I don't know if I'd be able to relinquish that.
I know I definitely couldn't. I mean, look at me. I earn my own money. I have my own bank account, and yet I'm still sneaking in things that I buy because I can't. I just can't deal with the judgment. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Even though
Are
it's my
those
own
new
money.
shoes? No.
Yeah.
What do you mean? They've been here for ages.
Another hoodie? How cold are you? Cold, okay? Um, but it's just, yeah, I think that's the thing. Is just in that scenario, I don't know if it's a case she's keeping all of her salary and she's just letting her man do the things. That's her goal. Or is she saying, like, you manage all of the bills. I don't want to even
Yeah,
know about it, but I will pool in the money.
yeah,
In which case it's fair ground because you're paying half of it, he's paying half, and you're taking, but he's ultimately the administrator of your life.
yeah.
I did see
I
one of
might
the
be okay
comments and
with
it was
that.
like, check in the accounts every now and again just to make sure you're cool.
Yeah,
Like
that
he's not
part,
siphoning off any money.
that part, because we've heard that story many a times, like where it turns out the mortgage hasn't been paid for like 6 months and,
Mm.
suddenly you've got bailiffs and all that type of stuff. So yeah, of course. But having in mind that the person that you're with is of sound mind and is doing what they're supposed to do, I'm all for having to make less decisions. I've said this many times before. I don't want to think more than I need to. You know, the bills keep coming. It's the same shit every single month. There's no surprises unless I'm buying new stuff or things are being expanded, whatever. So yeah, if someone else wants to like take care of that, making sure we're getting the best rates and yada yada yada, great.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm down
Let
for
me think
that. I
about
just,
getting more massages and
oh,
paying into
yeah.
ISAs and all of that. But yeah, hand over the
All of the
admin. That's fine
boring
with me.
stuff.
Hmm.
Go. Be
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, so that was one.
Mm.
I've got a couple of randomy bits. one was a video of this guy in the UK, and he's just like, things are just going crazy. So he's literally recording himself going into his local co-op and finding that they have bolted the cheese. So you have to take the cheese to the checkout, and it has to be
Oh my
unlocked. So just
gosh.
like you have the locks on clothing and stuff, like his
Yeah.
local co-op is doing that on cheese.
Do you know what though? As mad as that sounds, how sad is it that people are having to resort to steal food and cheat like the necessities to feed their family? That
If they're feeding their
is
family, I
oh
know
what
around
was what selling
around
like
by
black
me,
market cheese for drugs.
around by me, right? And it's weird.
Oh
It's also the
no.
co-op. My local co-op, they always have security on the door, right? But there have been instances where people have gone in pairs. So if one gets caught, the other one's fine. Um, and they are literally grabbing all of the packets of smoked salmon and then running out the door and selling this on
I mean,
like
damn.
bougie with the smoked salmon. Like, just get your smoked salmon here just so I can get my fix. It's nuts.
Holy
But
crap. Oh,
yeah,
I
it
can't
is
stand
sad if it
co-op
is the
though, but
occasion
yeah.
of they're overpriced.
For
Um,
no good reason. For no good reason. That's the only reason why I don't like them.
and budgeons. Budgeons are the same. Now you hear if
I
you've got
remember
budge
budgeons
in if you've got budge in your title, I'm thinking budget. Yeah.
because that's where it's from. Yes. They tried to make a play on words. However, they didn't tell us they were being ironic.
They're trying to think like they're the local, I don't know, Waitrose of the high street. You are not. You are not.
Act like it.
Anywho, yeah. We want the deals. Give us the deals. Um, so another just random one. Someone's posted, "What's the most awkward date you've ever been on?" And someone's response was, "He took me to his parents' favorite spot. We saw his mum there feeding strawberries to another man. He was about to confront her, but then his dad came out of the bathroom and sat with them, and he grabs the man's hand. That was the night he learned his parents like to tag team other men." Could you imagine?
Wow.
Could you imagine? And the sad thing was that he's thinking his mum was cheating on his dad, and then his dad strolls out of the bathroom being like, "Hey."
Now that's a would you rather. Would you rather your mum be cheating or find out that they like extracurriculars? I mean,
Hey.
wow. Oh, so he was trying to be like all romantic and sentimental.
And
Oh
his parents
dear.
fucked it up.
Literally.
I know. How do you even, you're never going to see that person again. One is the person who's just found out both of their parents are nasty. Well, not nasty, they just have preferences. But I'd be like, um, well, I'd be like that if I saw both my mum and dad together on the same exhibition.
What fresh hell is this?
You've
It's
tried
the-
this. It didn't work. Let's move on.
It's the end of days. Where are the sirens?
Oh dear.
Oh,
I can't remember what I was going to say. Anyway,
it's fine. Oh God.
no, I would probably be furiously texting both my brother and sister, being like, "What the actual? Does anyone else know about this? Is it just me?" Record and just send it to them as a video.
I can't even imagine. My brain won't. I'm glitching literally at the thought.
All cuddly up in a little booth and be like, "Oh no, let's not revisit this." I do have something else that came up. In fact, I've got two, but I'm going to save one. So I came across this video, and it's a woman talking about how she found out her husband was cheating on her, right?
Okay.
There's a bit of the story that I'm just going to have to kind of glaze over because my other half was talking to me at the same time and I missed it. So I was like, shh, shh. Um, so basically, she was talking about how she had a funny feeling that her husband was up to no good.
Oh yeah, so he was.
So yeah, already woman's intuition. So she's got this funny feeling her husband is up to no good. And then she was having this random conversation with her grandma, and her grandma was just like, I've been picking up on some suspect behavior.
Okay.
And so she's talking to her grandma about it, and her grandma's like, I've seen this too. And she's like, I'm going to confront him. And the grandma's just like, look, wait, just wait it out because you don't have any hard evidence. So wait until you have the hard evidence and then approach. So wise words to the grandma or from the grandma. So anyway, she didn't have to wait that long. It actually was like 24 hours later.
Oh gosh.
And this is where the details come. I don't have them because this is the part where he was chatting to me. She somehow, I don't know if it was like, I don't know, she got a notification that some food was ordered or whatever. So that they share this app, but it might be in her name. So she gets the notifications. But it was just like, he's not, wherever he's ordering this food, it's not where he said he was going to be. So she FaceTimes him and he's like, hey, babe, blah, 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 blah. And she's like, where are you? And he says where he is. And she's like, well, I know that's not true because I can see what's behind you. And what's behind you is where we live. Like it's in our city. So where are you? And who are you with? And
Yeah.
he's just like, what are you talking about? It's like, she could hear someone in the background. She's like, I can hear someone in the background. Don't play me. Where are you? And who are you with? He ends the call. Right. So she's
Okay.
trying to call him, going like, what is going on? What is going on? Why aren't you answering my call now? And then she finally gets through to him. He answers his FaceTime and he's like in the car and she's like, what's going on? Because you're being
Yeah.
suspect. I feel like something's untoward is happening. Who's in the passenger seat with you? So he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Shows her, spins the camera around, shows her the passenger seat. It's empty. And she's just like, listen, I'm not a fool. You haven't been picking up the phone. So whoever
Yeah.
was there is now out of the car, right? And you're just showing
Yeah.
me an empty seat. I don't believe you are where you say you are. Like, we need to have a conversation. He's like, I'm on my way home. I'll see you in a bit, whatever. Now, I haven't alluded to who she thinks this person is, the person that he's with, but
Okay.
I'll clue you in now. She calls up her sister who lives at home and is just like, hey, where's mum? And she's like, what do you mean? It's like, where is mum right now? And the sister's just like, look, she didn't want me to tell you this, but your husband came round and picked her up a while back and they've gone out for like coffee or whatever. Um, so that's where she is. She's not here. That's where she is. So obviously she's just like, right, I'm calling my mum. She calls her mum and her mum's just like, what? What do you want? Like, are you with such and such? And she's like, I don't know what you're talking about. Like, you're just getting all up in my business for no reason. It's like, don't lie to me. I know he came round and picked you up. So I know that you've been together. Are you together? She's like, I was having a bad day and I just like, he just so happened, reached out to me and checked in on me and it made me feel, validated and stuff. So we went out for a coffee and that's like, we've just been out for a coffee, but we're on our way back to you now. They rock up at the house and apparently they both go in to give her a hug. Not at the same time, just like, oh, hi, how is she's like, don't touch me. As if like you're both acting shady. What's going on? Because I know there's all of these things that have been weird. And now I know that something's
Yeah.
going on. You're together and you're both acting shady when I'm trying to get in contact with you at the same time. So what's going on? They admit to having an affair with each other. She gets her kids, leaves, right? It's just like, I'm not having a bar of this. She leaves with her kids, and her mum promptly moves into the family home to be with this husband, leaves her dad, goes like in, they're with together for
Yo.
a period of 2-3 months. She finally applies for to have a divorce and has 100% physical, was it
Custody?
something, custody of the
Yeah.
kids. And at that point, he's just like, do you know what? It's not even worth it. And kicks her out, the mum, kicks her to the curb.
Yeah.
And the mum goes back to her husband, this woman's dad, and they're living happily ever after as if this affair never happened, and is promptly putting blame on the wife to say
Ah,
she's a bad daughter and she was a bad
what?
wife, and that's why the affair happened. So, like, gaslighting the woman who's
Okay,
been cheated on.
that's the worst part of the story for me. What?
Outrageous. But those are the kind of things that I love. It's like a full circle moment. We get to hear the whole story. I'm going to have to send you the link because it was just
So mum moved
nuts.
in and then blamed her daughter for I I feel like I would burn everything down. Wow. I
I
I pray I never know. Well, obviously, this would not happen. This would
no,
not happen with my mum, obviously. But I pray I never have to experience such dysfunction. Like, that is insane. I've
the
just basically become an
betrayal.
orphan because
Yeah,
it,
both parents have turned against her. Both.
dad as well.
Yeah, because he's just
Ah,
like taken the mum back, open arms. Don't worry, despite the fact that you've cheated on me and you have wrecked our daughter's marriage by having an affair with her husband, all is
and now you
well.
can't see your grandkids. That is
A whole lot of disruption in the family.
sorry. I mean, I know it's a podcast and we've got to speak, but I just don't have the words. Don't. Oh, I can't. I don't, as I said, I'm trying to think what I would do, and all I can see is fire. Honestly. Ash and fire, just total destruction. Because I'll show you something that's really gaslit. Okay.
I thought I was the violent one. I know, it's
Oh,
crazy.
that would absolutely send me. And yeah, I'm typically not like a violent person. You know me. You've been around a while. But that's what's scary about me to me. I know that I'm all or nothing. You're gonna get nothing from me or you'll get too much.
Oh, I was just trying to
Oh,
think,
that was
what is the
good.
wording for hell hath no something about woman
Fury,
scorn? Yeah,
like a woman scorned. Yeah,
that is a prime
absolutely.
example of setting everything on fire.
Listen, and I love the color red. So
I
bring.
set fire to the rain.
Oh dear.
That was a crazy, crazy story. I do like them because it's so much drama in one fell
I
swoop.
know.
But
I
at the
love it. I'm
same
just like,
time,
oh, story time.
I know, but at someone else's expense, because that's a lot. Like, how do you deal? How do you come back from that kind of scenario?
I don't know. But look, you put it online, so you want me to know about it. So I'm gonna listen and ooh and ah and oh my gosh.
Ooh,
And
ah.
then what? Oh gosh. Okay,
Okay.
I'm gonna see if I can find something like that for next week. Oh, we love a good story. Story time.
Hey, story time. Enjoyable. But that brings me to a close for this week's Media Circus.
Yeah.
I don't know if you have anything to share with me or the people.
I've got some stories, but let me leave that for next week. I think That was the perfect place to end it, in hellfire. Yeah.
Yeah, in hellfire, indeed. Okay, well then that I guess also wraps up this wonderful episode of ours. Time goes so quickly for us.
Doesn't it?
Oh, well, for me, it just like snap. Anyway, not going to drag it on where it doesn't need to be. I've already told you guys to do all of the things, but I'm going to remind you. So click that subscription little bell or the notification bell so you know when the episodes are released. They are typically every Tuesday, but you know, whenever you tend to listen, you tend to listen.
Yes.
And also follow us on all of the socials.
All the socials. In all the places.
All of the socials.
We are there. Just not LinkedIn.
Like this. Oh. Yeah, that would be weird, actually, if we had the LinkedIn. I don't even
I've seen it.
manage my own LinkedIn profile. So
No, that's like the only social that I'm not really on, because that's the type of professional that I am.
Yeah,
not there.
Me too. I mean, you know or you don't. It's not there, you joker. So until next time, my lovely, lovely frolickers, we will be here. So make sure you're with us. And if you can't be good,
have a nap.
Be kind. Stop you and these naps.
Because they save lives. And boost creativity. Have a nap. Google it.
You know me, I can't sleep during the day. Unless I'm sick. I know.
Like,
watch me now, I'm going to be asleep for 4 days. 4 days. I'll be like, what day is it? I went down for 20 minutes. Ow. Oh, guys, thank you so much. We'll see you next time on It's All Friday. Peace. Oh, dear.
Oh, and another one in the
Bites the dust.